Hi, I'm Annie Stores. Welcome back to another video. So today's video is all about one of my favourite topics to talk about, and that's dining. And this is specific to Disneyland Paris. So if you like this kind of content, then please do give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, but let's jump in. So if you've been watching my vlogs, you know I'm all about the food. I often think with my stomach, and a Disney trip is just that, just times 1,000, because any Disney trip we always focus a lot on the food. It's so much of our experience, as much as the parks and the rides and the characters. The food is just something that's like up there for me. However, this time round it was a little bit different, because if you've not watched my Disneyland Paris vlog series, I will link them up above. But we were only there in the parks themselves for 2 days, and we really didn't want to take away from any of our park time, given that it's been so long since we've been back. So we dined slightly differently this time, because normally we would always have a dining plan, and Disneyland Paris also has some fantastic meal plan options. But like I say, we didn't want to detract too much from the trip, so we decided to go off plan and out of pocket for this, which did really vary our experience, but it also meant that we dined at places we wouldn't normally tend to dine at. What I mean by that is, when we're on a meal plan, we usually buy one of the sort of top tier ranges, so either the deluxe or the premium, and that way we always want to obviously make the use out of the meal plan that we've bought, which is usually sit down table service. So because we were off plan this time, it meant that we had a little bit more variety in terms of being able to utilize counter service as well as sit down, but also looking at some of the fantastic options that are available in Disney Village, which they are sort of partner restaurants, so therefore wouldn't necessarily be on the meal plan. So first up is over at the Art of Marvel Hotel, and we popped in there because we were so keen to have a look around and explore the new hotel and look at all the amazing theming. Whilst we were there, we also popped into the Bleecker Street Lounge to grab a drink, and we also saw that they have got a lovely lounge menu as well, which it was still a little bit early by the time we were there. It was maybe around 11 o'clock, so we weren't ready for a full meal, but we definitely wanted to try something. What caught our eye was the Doctor Strange shoe, and I've got the description here which I'll read out. So it says Doctor Strange pastry, crispy puff pastry, vanilla whipped cream, red berry compote, meringue and coconut. And how pretty is that? I mean, obviously we're in France, of course you would expect really good pastries, and it really didn't disappoint. So it's a nice little shoe bun. It was priced at €10, which is possibly quite pricey just for a pastry, but the look of it and the taste of it was definitely worth it, and we all ended up sharing it between us. So again, quite cost-effective option to share between the three of us. They also had savoury snacks as well as sweet snacks, but like I say, we just popped in for a drink and just wanted something to nibble on. And I really would recommend that actually. It was a really nice light option, and like I say, very tasty and very prettily decorated. So be sure to pop into the Bleecker Street Lounge. That was also the benefit on our trip of having the travel day, where we had some time before we were able to go into the parks. We ended up being able to do things that we wouldn't normally tend to do, because we want to absolutely maximize those park hours. So being able to kind of have a potter around the hotels and the lounges was just really nice for us, and we got to try something different. Next up, we headed over to Disney Village, and there's so many really good options in there, but we were really keen to try Planet Hollywood because we hadn't eaten there since mine and Pete's first trip that we did, which I think we worked out was about 10 years ago. Now on that trip 10 years ago, I had the LA lasagna, and I have been thinking about it on and off since then, so I always knew with going that that would be the option that I would have. And I don't know if I've just built it up in my head over 10 years, but it wasn't as good as what I remember. Maybe my tastes have changed in 10 years, but it could have been hotter for a start. It seemed like it had been sat on the pass for a while, so it was not as hot as I think you would like, especially for something that's supposed to have been deep fried. But the taste was really good, and it's just a complete different twist on a lasagna. So it was kind of crunchy, and you also had all the flavours of the lasagna, so with the meat bolognese sauce and the bechamel, so it was really creamy. So it was good, it just wasn't as good as I remembered, but that's potentially because I have completely built it up in my head over 10 years and nothing's gonna kind of live up to that expectation. I also had a side of the triple fries, and I could only count 2 different types in there. It was a skin-on fry and a curly fry, so I don't know what the third option was. Maybe it was supposed to be a sweet potato, that would have made sense, but I don't think I had any. But not a bad option. Like I say, just not as good as I remember. Now for Oscar's main, he was quite tired. It had been quite a long travel day and he didn't want a full meal, so standard for Oscar, he just ordered a garlic pizza bread, and which was absolutely fine, no complaints from him, but it was just a sort of bog standard garlic pizza bread. And Pete ordered the Mac Attack burger, and that is a beef burger with a layer of macaroni and cheese on a brioche bun, and also came with the side of fries. Now I do like crazy burgers. I think it's always good to have options with lots of different toppings, maybe different textures, different flavors. And macaroni cheese is one that will always be like quite high on the list. Now with Planet Hollywood, you wouldn't really expect a bad burger, and it wasn't. It was good, it was a good burger, but it was just a good burger. So all in all, Planet Hollywood, absolutely fine. Really enjoyed the theming in there. It's obviously nice to have a wander around and see all the different sort of memorabilia from the films and music videos and things. It was fine. We definitely ate at better options though, but it was good to be back after 10 years. So heading into the parks, normally we would do a breakfast before heading out into the park. We did bring stuff with us, which Oscar had before we left the room, but Pete and I, because we were kind of rushing around, we didn't stop for breakfast. So when we got into the parks, we were pretty hungry, so we wanted to find somewhere for a snack. And as we were over in Adventureland, we thought we would have a look over there and see what was available. Now I'm pretty sure this was Cool Post, but I can't make it out from my video what the actual name of it was. But we stopped for Nutella Crepes, and they could also do it with Nutella or just with sugar and just have them plain. They were on offer for €6 with the crepe itself and a hot drink, which we thought was a really good value for money option. And they were ready within just a minute or two, so you do wait while they're preparing it for you, which was nice. They were piping hot, they were super fresh, and they were so good. Again, if you've watched my vlogs, you'll have seen that Oscar actually said they were better than the pancakes that Pete makes for him at home. And it was just a really nice option. It was just enough to kind of keep us going until lunchtime. Like I say, cheap and cheerful, available really quickly, which is what you want. There wasn't really a queue. So very happy with the Nutella Crepes, and definitely something we'll be doing at home. So for lunch that day, we were over in Discoveryland at lunchtime, and we were really keen to try Cafe Hyperion because we know it's a huge space. So even though it was lunchtime and obviously quite busy, there was a lot of seating available, and whilst there was quite a bit of queuing, you know, that's just what you expect. There was loads of different options available at Cafe Hyperion, but we went for the BB-8 burgers. Now we did have 2 counter service vouchers to use, and the BB-8 burger was an additional supplementary charge on top of, I think it was €1 or €2, so not much at all. But these burgers were so good. So if you've been watching my previous vlogs, I had one of my first Disney burgers on the cruise. I'm just not really like a burger lover necessarily, and I always think there are usually better options to choose, but this BB-8 burger just completely sold me. So it was a beef patty, cheese and bacon, and then with the little scorched BB-8 on top of the brioche bun. And it was really hot, really fresh. It tasted really high quality actually, probably one of like the better burgers I've like ever eaten. The fries that came on the side again were really hot, fresh and salty. We really enjoyed this meal option actually, and like I say, to have something like quite quick that you can just like pop in, eat and then be back in the parks was like perfect for what we wanted to do on that particular day, because we really wanted to maximize our park time. There was lots of other different options such as chicken burgers. I think they had a vegetarian option and things. Oscar went for chicken nuggets and fries, which again is probably must do really in the Disney parks, and he really enjoyed them as well. They were good quality. So yeah, would recommend Cafe Hyperion, which we'd never or I think we might have done on our trip 10 years ago, but in our last trips between them we hadn't actually eaten there before. So it was good to be back and to try something different and to not be disappointed. So would give that a big thumbs up. Now for this evening's dining, we were due to dine at Manhattan Restaurant over at the Art of Marvel Hotel, but after we had our burgers at Cafe Hyperion, it was a bit later in the day and we thought, are we really going to want another sit down meal in just a few hours? And we were just so keen to kind of make the most of our time in the parks that we did cancel that reservation, which on reflection I'm a little bit disappointed by, because I did really want to eat there. It looks amazing, and obviously with all the theming, but like I say, we had to prioritise, and being in the parks for such a short period of time, the parks won. So instead, after we'd finished our park day, we went into Disney Village to see what options were available, and we'd previously seen Vapiano's, which kind of caught our attention because they've got quite a big menu with lots of different options for sort of pasta and pizza and risottos and things, which is right up our street. So we really wanted to try that, having never tried it before. Now again, if you've watched the vlogs, you'll have seen I had a bit of a mixed review just purely because of the experience, because the food itself was absolutely incredible. So I won't bore you with the details again. If you want to find out, go check out the vlog, but I'll just concentrate on the food. So we ordered a pizza to share, a margarita pizza, and also the lasagna. It took about an hour all in to get our food, which I can kind of understand for the lasagna if it was cooked like from fresh, but the pizza, I would have expected that within sort of 10, no more than 20 minutes, and that was for Oscar, so really I would have wanted him to eat first rather than wait an hour for his food. But it was just incredible. So the pizza itself, obviously they've made it so cute with the Mickey shape with the little extra dough ball ears, so that's a really nice touch. It's I think it was wood fired, or it was certainly something that tasted like really authentic for like baking a pizza, and it was so tasty. Obviously it was Oscar's dinner, so we just tried a bit of the slice that he didn't eat, and he actually did eat all but one slice, which again, you know, shows, well, either A, that he was super hungry, which I'm sure he was, but B, that it was a really good pizza. But the slice that Pete and I tried was really tasty. And then the lasagna itself, after waiting nearly an hour for it, I would have been really, really mad if it wasn't good, but it was incredible. So, so good. I think Pete and I both said that it was one of the best lasagnas that we've actually ever eaten. Like I say, it was really fresh. It had all the flavours in there that you want, so it was creamy but it was rich, and the pasta, there was like a good pasta ratio. Like I say, one of the best lasagnas I've ever eaten. And I suppose as a credit to Vapiano, we did look up if they actually have that in the UK, and there is one in Manchester, so we were thinking, might want to go back to that. So yeah, I would recommend it for the food, but be mindful of the wait time. Now because we'd gone a little bit later in the evening, I think it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock, maybe it was just because it was quite busy, but I think to wait an hour, not great really. So go for the food, but be mindful if you want to eat somewhere quickly. I suppose if you want to kind of take your time, have a glass of wine or whatever, then that might really suit you. So like I say, really mixed because of that reason, but the food was really, really good. So then over to Disney Studios for our day 2, and I'd seen this on the Disneyland Paris socials, and it was the new Laugh and Go food truck that's available over near the new Cars road trip ride. And it's so cute, the theming. Like, Oscar is really into cars. He always has been since he was little, and we always knew that we wanted to eat there. The Cars Laugh and Go is called that because it's sponsored by the Laughing Cow. So it features a lot of Laughing Cow cheese, which I don't think I've eaten Laughing Cow cheese since the 90s, when I might have had cheese triangles in my lunchbox. So keen to try it again. And the options here were so cute. So it is obviously limited, it is a food truck, so they can turn it around quite quickly. And Pete and I both ordered the Lightning McQueen croque monsieurs, which was ham, the Laughing Cow cheese. We think it was on brioche, and obviously it was imprinted with the Lightning McQueen, and it was so good. I guess it was just like a toasted sandwich, so your expectations are not high, but really, really good actually. Like, pleasantly surprised by how good it was. I definitely could have eaten another one, and it was in a really cute location, really well themed, and I just love anything that's kind of like full on with the Disney theme. So Disneyland Paris definitely upping their snack game there with those croque monsieurs. In addition to the croque, I also was pixie dusted a birthday cupcake, which was the Pixar ball, and it had the swirl of, it was white chocolate and the Laughing Cow cheese, so like a cream cheese, so it was all swirly there, and then the little chocolate Pixar ball on top, and it was just a vanilla based cupcake, and it was really, really nice. So as I mentioned in the vlog itself, I've never been able to eat a Disney cupcake before because they tend to be super sweet and like colours that stain your teeth, but this one was just really nicely balanced, and it was quite a delicate flavour. I did have a couple of people asking me about, did it really have like cheese in it? What did that taste like? But it was just like a cream cheese frosting. So there was a little bit of sweetness, but not too much that it was kind of like cloying. But like I say, just nicely balanced. And you could pick up all of the white chocolate, which went really nicely with the vanilla cupcake base. And again, it's really nice to see like Disneyland Paris like bringing out a new snack range and something that's so cutely themed. Obviously people will want to take the pictures for the Instagram things, so it's nice to see that, and it was a really good option, so we definitely recommend the Laugh and Go. And then for dinner that night, it was actually my birthday day, so I wanted a reservation of somewhere that I love and have enjoyed before, and that was for Bistro Shayremy. Now the theming over there is just incredible. You really do feel Remy size because everything is oversized and it's so well done. And it's always good to see like a ride in the background. I really like that. I just think it kind of adds like another layer to it. It just makes it a little bit more atmospheric and a really enjoyable experience. So I knew that I wanted to go to Bistro Shayremy because of the timing of our trip and the time that we needed to leave the parks. It was quite a late lunch reservation, so it was at 3 o'clock. So by that time we were ready to eat, and the food just did not disappoint. So I started with the duck en croûte, which I described, I don't know if it went into the vlog actually, but I certainly said it to Pete. It was like a duck pork pie, obviously a very fancy pork pie with pistachio, but that was kind of the en croûte bit, was kind of like that watercress pastry, I think, that you would normally find on a pork pie, and then it had like almost that duck pate sort of running through it. Not something I would normally choose to go for, as much as I like duck, but I don't really eat nuts. I'm less keen on pistachios, but I could kind of work around those. And it was just a really good flavour, and it also had this like cranberry sauce with it, which again put those two together and they complemented each other perfectly, so it was a really nice option. Oscar went for, it was a smoked salmon with Laughing Cow cheese on toast. I think the food, and I guess this is what I would say about Paris, is obviously the food is European. Oscar's a little bit fussy, so he wasn't keen on the smoked salmon, so we just took that off. So his starter was really just cheese on toast, and he's not going to complain about that. And Pete ordered for his starter the soup of the day, which on this particular occasion was carrot and honey soup, and it was actually really nice. I tried some of that, and it came with like some bread on the side, and it was inoffensive. It wasn't amazing, I wouldn't be raving about it, but it was a nice option to have. It's always good to have soup, I think, as a starting option, and I guess carrot and honey was something a little bit different, so it was a good option. So we were pretty happy with our starters. And then on to the mains. So we all had the same, which was steak and fries and a side of ratatouille, and I also ordered a béarnaise sauce on the side, which is my favourite to have with steak. What can I say, like, so well cooked. The steaks were perfect. They were nice and charred on the outside, but cooked to order as we requested. So I always have my medium. Pete goes for more well done, and we also go for well done for Oscar, just so that there's not any sort of pink in the middle, because I'm not sure he'd be that keen on that, but I quite like mine a bit more under. And it was really, really good. The steaks themselves, really good quality, like not much fat or anything else, so you know, we were able to eat and enjoy the whole steak. The side of fries, again, really hot, fresh, tasty, salty, crispy, which always go really nicely with the steak, and the béarnaise sauce was really very good. Now the ratatouille, it didn't look that particularly nicely presented, but the flavors were all there, and of course if you're going to be eating at Bistro Shayremy, you would expect ratatouille. However, perhaps they could present it a little bit more like Remy does in the movies, but it was a really good option. We all loved our mains and were very happy with what we ordered. And then on to the desserts. So Oscar ordered the chocolate and hazelnut eclair, which came out on the plate with like a strawberry coulis in the shape of Chef Remy, which is just the cutest little detail. He really loved that and he really enjoyed the eclair. Pete had the tiramisu, which he said was fine. I don't think it was like the best tiramisu he'd ever eaten, but certainly not the worst. It was really good. He did enjoy it, but it was just fine. So I was definitely the dessert winner with the warm apple tarte tatin and a side of, I would say clotted cream, but it's not going to be clotted cream. Was it Disney cream? I don't know. Either way, it was so good. One of the best tarte tatins I've ever eaten. The pastry base was really flaky and short and crisp. The apples on top were cooked perfectly with that lovely and yummy caramel sauce running through it. And that cream was just really well balanced. So again, not too sweet. I don't think they'd actually sweetened it because it didn't need it with the actual tarte tatin. So it kind of just cut through and just add in another texture and a different element. So that was really good. So even though I was absolutely stuffed from my starter and main, I did finish my dessert because it was just too good not to. We've eaten at Bistro Shayremy before. I've recommended it before. After this trip, I would still recommend it, and especially for all of the cute theming and detail. So if you're pondering sort of where to go, that's a fantastic option over at Disney Studios, so would really highly recommend that. So as I said at the beginning, it was a very different experience this time dining in Disneyland Paris from what we're used to. If you are contemplating any other options, then we have eaten at, I think, pretty much every restaurant at Disneyland Paris, so do let me know if you want any other recommendations or options to choose from. There were a couple, obviously with COVID, there's not every restaurant is open at the moment, and not all of like the character dining and things and buffets, which it will be great when those come back because they do offer some fantastic options. But what is open, again, there's some great choices out there. So Captain Jack's is up there with one of our favorites. There's also the Silver Spur that's available in Frontierland. So that's a great steakhouse with also great theming. So there are some fantastic options to choose. Like I say, just let me know if you want any other recommendations or me to like talk through anything with you, because I can happily chat about Disney dining all day, every day. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I of course have enjoyed making it because I love talking about it, but of course loved eating everything that went into the video itself. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.